like a flower, no, I'll let you bloom to the waters of my fantasy. Let your soul feel this harmony. Push it closer, call it to zoom. Let me ignite every part of you. Spell it out, mama, tell me what you're feeling. Let my actions be what you're thinking.
Cause it tastes like sugar and spice and everything nice. Close your eyes, I'll make you realize you're winning in life, yeah. You're winning in life. You taste like sugar and spice and everything nice. Close your eyes, I'll make you realize you're winning in life, yeah. You're winning in life.
Call me a number one, baby. You can call me a Superman. Chochote utataka nitakupa man. You my girl.
Call me a number one, baby. You can call me a supergirl. Chochote unataka nitakupa, nitakupa. Like a flower, no, I'll let you bloom to the waters of my fantasy. Let your soul feel this harmony. Push it closer, call it to zoom. Let me ignite every part of you. Spell it out, mama, tell me what you're feeling. Let my actions be what you're thinking.
Cause it tastes like sugar and spice and everything nice. Close your eyes, I'll make you realize you're winning in life, yeah. You're winning in life. You taste like sugar and spice and everything nice. Close your eyes and make you realize you're winning in life, yeah. You're winning in life.
Call me a number one, baby. You can call me a Superman. Chochote utataka nitakupa man. You my girl.
Call me a number one, baby. You can call me a supergirl. Chochote unataka nitakupa, nitakupa. You're my man. I wanna climb to the top of the mountain, let you cruise on this endless sea. Open up the windows to your soul. I want you to see what you do to me. Watch my spirit melt into your arms. Freeze this time so we'll never be apart, baby. I know you're comfortable under my skin, so don't let go. Pull me close, let the energy flow from my head to my toes. Like this split, let's get lit. Wake back up, then we do it again, baby.
Call me a number one, baby. You can call me a Superman. Chochote utataka nitakupa man. You my girl.
Call me a number one, baby. You can call me a supergirl. Chochote unataka nitakupa, nitakupa. You're my man.
Somebody call for my girl, call for my cure, call for my lover. Cause when the sunlight's at west side, you're always gonna be my number one.
Somebody call for my man, call for me cure, call for my lover. Cause when the sunlight is at west side, you're always gonna be my number one. Tell me how you want it, daddy.
Tell me how you want it.
Happy. Tell me what you want, I'ma make you happy.
Wagwan.
Happy, I'ma make you happy.
Happy Wednesday.
Tell me how you want it, mommy. Tell me how you want it, mommy. Tell me what you want, I'ma make you happy. I'll make you happy, I'ma make you happy.
Tell me how you want it, baby. Tell me how you want it, baby. Tell me what you want, I'ma make you happy. I'll make you happy, I'ma make you happy. Tell me how you want it, baby. Tell me how you want it, baby. Tell me what you want, I'ma make you happy. I'll make you happy, I'ma make you happy.
Good afternoon, family. Hope you guys are doing amazing. That is the one and only Libanda featuring Suzia, playing right here on the media of the 21st century. Nowadays, they call themselves literally quite different names. Some of the artists you seen here, they're actually now individual artists today in 2026. But I hope you guys are doing amazing. The name of the jam is called Number One, playing right here on the mid of the 21st century. Happy Wednesday, 27 minutes past the top of the hour. And I hope your week so far is actually amazing. Mine is great, can't complain. Literally loving the tone of the day. Today it's not really that cold. It's quite chilly, but it's not really that cold like it's been for the past few days. It's quite a little bit sunny. I can say it's doable. I can do it's doable. The weather is doable for me today. It's not really that cold because I didn't have to wear like something super heavy. But I hope you guys are doing amazing on your end. Hope your day is amazing and fantastic, rather starting with an amazing high tone and wishing you a beautiful one. And of course, welcome to the Pan African Bliss today as we talk about some few amazing conversations of what is trending across Africa. We're going to be starting with how some of the Malawians actually have been confirmed dead. That is in South Africa after, of course, the anti-immigration xenophobic behavior that we've been seeing happening in South Africa, in which, of course, the Malawian government has requested thorough investigations and justice upon the lives that have been lost. We've seen countries like Ghana, Nigeria taking a very serious action when it comes to evacuating their people actually in the country because of the current xenophobic attacks that are happening or actually facing other Africans who are in that particular country. We're going to also be discussing about the HIV increase in the 254, where we have over 1 million, that is 1.48 million Kenyans who are currently living with HIV. That is according to the new data status. And of course, it's crazy because we're discussing about this for the past few weeks, and we actually saw that most of the people actually measure HIV with their eyes. It's crazy. You just look at a person and you're like, nah, they don't look like they have HIV. They don't look like they have STDs. Instead of you guys going to the hospitals and getting the right, cure or the right, precautions before engaging into sexual activities. Much more of our conversation also is going to be coming from Burkina Faso as we focus, of course, in Niger, or as we focus on Niger, them actually submitting a formal bid to leave the International Criminal Court, which is actually a very amazing news. We're going to be looking at some of the transformative or amazing good news that are coming from Burkina Faso, because I think it's been a minute since we talked about something positive majorly. I don't want to dwell in anything negative, being honest today. I feel like that is not the energy I want to carry as of today. So today we're going to be talking about something a little bit positive on what Burkina Faso has been doing to make the country actually move forward in terms of infrastructure, industrial development, and of course, when it comes to industrial development, talking about so many things which have also created job opportunities to many young Burkinabe people. So those are our top discussions of today, as we look at also how Niger actually is looking forward to actually leave the International Criminal Court, which I believe is actually super amazing. But those being our top conversations, remember you can also download our app on the Google Play Store. In case you're here for the first time, welcome. This is Black Hot Fire Network, and my name is Joby. We hold the Pan African Bliss from Monday to Friday from exactly 2 p.m. depends the time. Sometimes I was here very early, so my co-host, of course, made me come in a little bit late. I was there actually by 12:30 today. I came actually an hour early actually today for my show. So we do hold this conversation every Monday to Friday, of course, from 2 to 4, depending on what conversations we have. Sometimes, of course, trending, we might hold the show a little bit longer or a little bit shorter. And I hope you guys do get to understand or learn what is happening on the trending news and updates of the Africa news across the world. But of course, with that being said, you can grab the application on the Google Play Store where we have amazing supplements. Keep yourself healthy, man. Keep yourself healthy. Health is really important. If there's something personally I was saying yesterday, I was telling someone yesterday, apart from health, if there's something I love to brag about is my success, apart from health, because I've understood actually when you're healthy, man, that's the most shittiest days of your life. Like when you're not feeling good in any part of your body, And of course, sometimes all you need is actually some organic supplements to just boost your health, and you're actually very good and activated. Like for me on Saturday, a good example, I was really really hungover, and I just took one of the medicines that I literally avoid when I hear people say that you need to take this every time you have an hangover. I hate medicines personally, but on Saturday I was really really fucked up because of the Friday party, that I had to take a medicine, and immediately I took this shit. Trust me, I was feeling amazing. Of course, it wasn't organic, but most of the times, of course, organic supplements do help you. For me, of course, when it comes to hangover, I have my own ingredients that I'm gonna deal with apart from the medicines. But this was really bad that I needed some medicine, really, really, really bad. But grab yourself some organic supplements. We have them in different categories. We have proteins, we have vitamins, we have skincare products. So ensure you grab yourself anything that you feel that should be beneficial or you've been seeking, and we got it here. In case you're facing any complication before or after purchasing, we have an active email, kcnewsam15@gmail.com. Rather, on the sports page itself, where we have these amazing supplements, we have an active chat where you can leave your questions. Rather, best if you're actually very much part of our family on WhatsApp, you can also leave your questions right there and you'll be answered. But Brain
Unlock
Focus
your
does
full
amazing
potential
magic for
with
this
Brain and Focus, a powerful supplement designed to boost mental clarity, enhance memory, and sharpen concentration. Made from a blend of scientifically proven ingredients like ginkgo biloba, omega-3, and essential vitamins, Brain and Focus is crafted to fuel your mind. Our process ensures maximum potency and effectiveness, delivering the perfect balance of brain-boosting nutrients. Take just one capsule daily, as prescribed by your healthcare provider, and feel the difference. Whether it's powering through your workday or staying sharp in life's challenges, Brain and Focus keeps you at the top of your game. Stay sharp, stay focused, and stay ahead with Brain and Focus. Brain and Focus, fuel your mind, achieve more. Go get this product at blackhotfirenetwork.com at the Sports and Nutrition Store.
we start with today's conversation, we're going to start with what is happening in South Africa due to the killings of some Malawian citizens. Let's take a look at this as we continue.
Police in South Africa are investigating the murder of a 29-year-old Malawian national during a march against illegal immigrants at the Jika Joe informal settlement in Pietermaritzburg. 2 other people were injured in the attack. Led by anti-immigrant group March and March, the protest reportedly turned violent after a woman claimed that her relative had been killed by Malawians. Hundreds of people from Malawi are camping in Pietermaritzburg following the attack in the city, which is the capital of KwaZulu-Natal province. Another group is sheltered in nearby Durban, awaiting repatriation as efforts to send them home continue. March and March has been increasingly vocal in recent months, coordinating mass protests and setting a 30th of June deadline for all undocumented foreigners to leave the country.
I think
the ultimatum is
personally, in all my history of understanding politics or understanding African countries and understanding so much that I understand right now, I'm witnessing 2 of the most devastating situations that are about or happening in Africa. When I say about, is because of what is about to happen in Kenya come 2027. Come 2027 is going to be a very chaotic year in for us, especially the Gen Zs, because this is going to be the most horrific, deadliest elections we've ever witnessed in our lives. Okay, and now coming to now Africa as a continent, this is the most craziest thing I'm witnessing coming from South Africa because of the xenophobic behavior. Because I think living in Kenya and how I've seen how accommodative we are growing up with Sudanese, Somalians, Ethiopians, we've never had a problem with these people. Now seeing this happening, of course, in South Africa, this is a shock to so many of us fellow Africans, and I believe, to many of us, really to many of us, because we might be divided by the borders, but I do believe somehow deep within us, we know we're supposed to be accommodating each other. I don't know if it really makes sense. We might be really, really divided, but I believe something deep in us, I don't know, because it's in me or been in me, that I take that upon also other Africans, that I think they have the same mentality, lifestyle. I don't know, but that's how I think. That's how I think about it. I'm like, I kind of think we know we're supposed to be living together, but it's just because we've been so historically divided, and the division which comes with education, the division comes, of course, with education, which fuels hate now, which is based on tribalism and all that, and the divisions of the borders, all right? But I'm like, something still deep in us. We know we're supposed to be living together, because a good example now with what is happening, of course, in South Africa, right? Where we have Nigerians, Ghanaians, Malawians, Zimbabweans, Kenyans, Zambians, all Africans being kicked out in South Africa. I'm not even going to talk about the job opportunities they have created. And now some people are realizing, oh, this actually is affecting us because we're losing jobs that these people had created for us. We're losing salaries, we're losing wages, da 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 da. This shit is really, really deep. And I trust me, if this is being fueled by a white man, white people again are wickedly brilliant. White people, don't tell me nothing about white people don't know our history, white people don't study us. No. White people have understood us to the core. They know even how our shit smells. And sorry to say that, but it's giving that. These people have studied us to the point they know our blood smells, our pee smells, how our shit smells, how our sweat smells. And I'm mentioning the bad, the bad smells that you can literally bump into on a bad corner of someone who doesn't know how to keep hygiene, of course. And you're like, God damn, But that's literally when it comes to white people, what I've understood. Because every day when I'm bumping into videos and I sit down to myself and analyze videos nowadays, I'm not just looking at videos. Every time I'm bumping into something that is educative to me as a Black person and that comes from the white people or the white culture, I am studying that video. Every article. I'm not just reading articles nowadays for the sake of me coming here and representing them or talking about them because it's a trending topic. No. I've sat down nowadays. I breathe in and out before even consuming some information because I get angry sometimes in the middle of reading so much or looking at so much. Some videos might get me irritated, agitated, And then I go back to the video of this lady I shared, and kids shared a video about her during the weekend. The Kenyan lady was talking about the energy harvest. I'm like, nah, this is not worth my energy. I gotta lay back a little bit. I have to lay back a little bit to understand this is happening in my world. Yeah, the world I'm living in, but not really in my world as Joby, not in me, like this is not affecting me, but yes, it's affecting my people. So how can I consume this? What can I learn from this? That is how I've been analyzing some videos nowadays, and it's making me understand so much wickedness. Oh my, so much wickedness, so much depth when it comes to our history and the white people. So much is being revealed to me in an angle. Actually, that's the right term. So much is being revealed to me in an angle I never thought I could see things. And it's crazy. It's really crazy and also scary. I'm like, God damn, how do I know this much? How many lives have I lived? I start even questioning that. How many lives have I lived? How much information might I have walked out with from my previous lives to understand or to catch up with this information that I have in today's life or in this life, as Joby. Because in my previous life, of course, I was not Joby. I was someone else. I was probably Natasha, Tanisha, I don't know. or definitely someone different, but the soul is the same, right? I've just understood so much, or I keep on consuming so much information that it's so mind blowing and scary at the same time. And I don't think I've actually said this in a long time, but that's what I've been experiencing lately. I'm like, damn, this is not just a video. This is not just another trending video on TikTok. This is not just. I've been trying as much as I can to understand every or sinking information it's on a depth level. Trust me. It's like it's soaking in me. Like, you see how a washing sponge, how it soaks on water and soap. That's it. That's how I've been soaking on information. I'm like, this is not just another video. This is not just another trending shit. So now it comes to South Africa. And if this is really a fueled agenda, which I think for now we understand is a fueled agenda, which of course now we can see, of course, Trump getting rid of the HIV aid, saying that the black people should fund themselves. That's a very big effect. But of course, it also comes with that. Leave alone Trump. There's now the minority who have been dominating South Africa for so long, calling themselves South Africans. And there's video about it, actually. There's many videos of white people calling themselves South Africans. You know, we're the real. They don't call themselves that, the Dutchies. They call themselves Black South Africans. We're the real South Africans here. Not even Afrikaners. If you do some research on TikTok, you're going to find these white people is talking about all the original, the indigenous people of South Africa. They never invaded. The invaders are the black South Africans, and all that. Now I'm like, Of course, when you go back to many countries and colonialism and slavery, which is the same thing, these people have been using the same strategy of claiming they have been here before. That's why they feel the need of teaching us religion, giving us their fake education. There's always some justification when it comes to their actions, right? But their justification has become so deep to the point now, because I think this video I shared some few weeks ago or a month ago, someone was saying, no, white people don't know our history. And that kind of really pissed me off, because I'm like, man, you must be really slow to not know. These people have understood us to the core. To the core. To the core. They know how your sweat smells. Every black sweat. Because black people smell different too. There's some people who have conch sweat. There's some people who have like some really, slight sweat. There's some people who have like really, really bad smelling shit. There's some people who have like really, if you drink like especially on a daily, your piece is gonna be smelling alcohol. Best sure of that. Or it's gonna be, I don't know, it's gonna be looking very, very bad because you don't hydrate, you're just always drinking alcohol. So these people have studied us to the depth, and this is working in their favor right now. Whatever is happening in South Africa might make South Africans lose their country, and to the point it's going to be too late for you to recover your country, because you're going to want to run to other countries, and these other countries are not going to accept you in their countries because you gave them the same treatment when it was their turn asking for help or relief from you, and not even asking. They were creating relief for you and for them and for you, by creating job opportunities, creating all and contributing to your economy. That's what is coming, South Africans. You're still killing other people. You're still killing Malawians. You're still killing your own people. You're still killing South Nigerians. Oh my God. The same thing I said some few weeks, 2-3 weeks ago. You Negroes are going to start being called savages, uncivilized. They're going to go back to the same thing I've said, justification of their actions. White people will find a way to take over South Africa completely. Oh my God, you're not ready. You just know, you don't have no idea. That's what I'm saying. I'm understanding now everything and in depth, but slowly. I think personally I've understood I'm a slow learner. That's why sometimes Keith is gonna tell me some stuff. I'm like, nah, you know. I've understood I'm kind of a slow catch up of some things. There are things I'm gonna catch up quick, but there's some things I'm gonna take my time to understand them and based on my own pace. And I've actually understood that and accepted that, actually, for real. I've understood this for a very long time. I'm like, I need to settle with this, you know. Not every time I'm gonna sink in with information directly. I just need time to find my own way of understanding it and in a slow beat. And that's what is actually happening to me now when it comes to South Africa. This country is going to be under attack. Just watch. They are very quick. They were saying yesterday, remember the video I shared yesterday? This guy was saying, oh, you've been living here since 2007. It's almost 20 years. You're welcome. You're one of us. Now, you're not going to be calling them one of you because they don't even give a shit about you. If, as a matter of fact, they want you out, they see you so backward by what you're doing. You have no goddamn idea. They see you so backward by what you're doing to fellow Africans. They see you so backward. Why people see you so backward and you're giving them reasons to justify their actions upon you when it comes to killing you? Because I think I've understood this system and racism so well at the same time. Like, why people always find ways to justify their action because they know the system also favors them. That's it. Everything we're dealing with globally is based on race. And where the race goes back to the system because the system is built on race, favorism. Oh my goodness. So shout out to South Africans, man.
No legal backing, but has already led thousands of people from other African nations, including Ghana, Nigeria, Malawi, and Mozambique, to flee. Tensions are escalating ahead of planned anti-illegal immigrant demonstrations across the country on the 30th. Law enforcement has ramped up its operational readiness across all 9 provinces.
So mind you, they're supposed to be leaving. Everyone who is not South African, they're supposed to be leaving by 30th of June. Nobody who is not South African should be in South Africa.
The plans in place to protect communities, infrastructure, and public spaces.
Yeah, so that is what is happening. That is what is happening in South Africa. Man, I can't wait. I'm waiting. The boycotting, there's a lot that is about to, of course, currently it's effective, but I don't feel it's effective enough. I don't feel like, man, it's not effective enough. It should be effective the way you see the Strait of Hormuz is affecting many countries. That's where South Africa should be. Begging on your goddamn knees because you depend on the rest of the world. What do you produce? What do you do? You're like the rest of the African countries, depending and waiting on other people to import back to you. What do you do? Nothing. Maybe the only thing you've done is import HIV in Kenya, because I don't understand why the rate of HIV in Kenya is rising. Look at this.
1.48 million Kenyans are currently living with HIV. This is according to the latest data released by the National Syndemic Diseases Control Council. Women and girls are bearing a disproportionate burden for the epidemic as compared to men. Despite this, Kenya has made notable progress in the fight against HIV, recording declines in mother-to-child transmission and maintaining gains in treatment coverage. However, new infections, particularly among adolescents and young people, continue to pose a major challenge.
Despite decades of progress in HIV prevention and treatment, Kenya continues to face a significant HIV burden, with an estimated 1.48 million people currently living with the virus. According to the National Syndemic Disease Control Council, the national prevalence now stands at 3.22%. The epidemic continues to affect women more than men, with a higher prevalence among females at 4.3% as compared to males at 2.1%. Children remain among the most vulnerable groups, with 69,330 children aged between 0 and 14 years currently living with HIV. In 2026, Kenya recorded 13,936 new HIV infections. Adolescents and young people continue to account for a significant share of new infections at 41%. Adult new infections stood at 10,539, while the new infections among adolescents and young people aged between 15 to 24 years were 4,321.
Out of all the new HIV infections, 62% occurred among young people and young adults aged between 15 and 39.
Health experts are particularly concerned about the high rate of infections among young people, underscoring the need for targeted awareness campaigns, testing services, and access to prevention tools. Meanwhile, Kenya has recorded progress in efforts to eliminate mother-to-child transmission of HIV. The rate of mother-to-child transmission now stands at 8.04%, a drop from the recorded 9.3% in 2024.
Kenya still records approximately 14,000 new HIV infections annually, including more than 3,000 among children. At the same time, people living with HIV are living longer and increasingly require more integrated services that address non-communicable diseases, mental health condition, reproductive health needs, and other chronic illness. Ladies and gentlemen, the change.
Now, remember, of course, the rate of HIV is going to increase because we have these testing vaccines that have been going on across Africa. Testing vaccines. How sure? Because this goes back to a certain conversations we had, I think, me and Shmani, and we're talking about how comes America never shows any patient from America, from Asia, not all these white or whatever people, non-African people. How comes we never see any type of example of anyone who has been cured by HIV and AIDS through these vaccines? As a matter of fact, if you remember, when we had the US, the American government funding African countries forcefully to accept these trial vaccines, to accept some money that is going to be funding cancer, HIV, and other future pandemics. We had one of our trials right here in Kenya, and I reported that. We had one of our idiots very happy because he was the first one to take the HIV vaccine trial. The same thing happened in South Africa. Some trials continued. So how comes we never have any patient from the States? So you're not telling me HIV is just only in Africa? Huh? Or HIV is just only spreading among East Africa? Of course, you know the rest of the world, some people also have HIV. Don't play on my face like that. So how comes we have none of these patients who are dying, in need to live long and healthy? We have none of them who's coming as an example of how they are being used with these trials to be actually a good example of they are being cured by those vaccines. Why must it be Africa? That is always actually where the trials must happen. Huh? So which actually, for me, if you ask me why the rate of HIV is increasing, is because of the vaccines we're taking and we have no goddamn idea what we're taking. Man, thank God, being honest, for the longest time, I think for the last 1 year or two, being honest, personally, I've not been so reliable on hospitals as much.
Let me get 3 minutes, Joby. You don't mind. 3 minutes. 3 minutes.
Okay, just a minute. Okay, sure. But I've been so reliable personally on staying at home. I'd rather stay at home, cure my diseases, whatever I'm suffering from. Stay at home. I'm not gonna go to the hospital. I swear. So don't ask me for no. I'm sorry, kids. Don't ask me for no doctor recommendation or letter. No, I don't have it. I'm sorry. I'm gonna cure my shit at home. That's it. Because I'm not gonna spend. I've realized I spend so much money in the hospitals, like wasting medicine, or money on medicines.
Well, you're not supposed to. You're not supposed to know. You're supposed to know regular remedies. Exactly right. You're supposed to know that. That's what I don't never been. I'm in worse shape than you. You ever see me go? I ain't been in the hospital like 35 years. I don't know than that.
Exactly.
I don't even get sick.
For me, every time I get maybe a stomach ache or whatever I'm suffering from, I don't go to the hospitals anymore. What I'm gonna do is actually I chat GTP that shit. I'm like, what are the natural remedies I can use to do this and this and this? And it gives me the remedies and I try that. If it works, cool. If it doesn't, I know by the next day I can be okay to come to work. Period.
You figure it out. Figure it out.
I'm not going to no hospital or chemist to get medicine that I'm not gonna take. Because I've been seeing her throw away so many medicines that I've not taken. I'm like, damn, this is a lot of use. Shit, I'm not gonna do this shit anymore. So for the last 2 years, actually, I've not been going to the hospital like that. The last time I was in the hospital was during my leg, actually, especially. Yeah.
Well, that's what they good. Well, that's what they good for, repairing broken bones and stuff like that. Yeah. But Kenya and Africa should have realized. Listen, this is the problem with you Africans being morons and stupid and worshiping your enemy. You are sexually conservative people. You're sexually conservative. People say that you're damn somewhat backward because you don't. Sex to you is taboo. Well, you can't talk to your kids about sex. So you're sexually conservative. So why is AIDS all over Africa? It wouldn't be, because your behavior shows that you wouldn't have AIDS. See? So it's got to be from something else, not sex. Because your societies, see, that Joey's right, you're the same people. You go to Ghana, Niger, you're sexually conservative. That's a fact. That's a fact. That's why Joey goes to tell this, you got a little bit of short skirt. Oh, you're going to hell. What are you doing? You're sexually conservative. Understand that? So you couldn't have this amount of AIDS. See, so something, but you've been made stupid. You can't connect dots. That you was, I'm on YouTube, so it didn't come from you haven't, somebody did something somewhere to put it into your area, right? Because we just found out what Joey was doing, but like I said, you're too stupid to figure, common sense told me that. So to Africa, I said, wow, they really sexually conservative. I ain't know, because me not knowing Africa, because Africans were this conservative. Well, you know homosexuality. That was nothing with AIDS. Homosexuals carried AIDS. Like, so you were completely against it, like us in the black community. How the hell in the black community in America, we got it. Black people are conservative by nature. So that lets you know they come from no sex in what they told you. There's a war against us as black people, but also you're not the one having sex with animals. Okay? All venereal diseases, sexually transmitted, came from them. Some people, like I say, the name on you, having sex with animals, and then going around the world when they finally got enough intelligence to get out of Europe and raping other people. Syphilis, that's an animal disease. Gonorrhea, animal disease. All these sexual diseases come from animals. And then, as we were talking about Kentucky and West Virginia yesterday, and we live at, the white people live at, this is real. You can go look this up. There's a white man who just got caught fucking a dead deer on the side of the road. Not a live deer, a dead one. Out in Kentucky, exactly. You can't make this up.
Crazy.
And so it's a little bit more than crazy, Joby. Who's gonna like the black lady asked, you people, you Neanderthals, you people, how does your penis get hard for not just a deer, but a dead deer? So She said it was out of Kentucky, Alabama. Just got caught on the side of the road fucking a dead deer. But I'm like, what? I'm like, what? I know if it was lying, they fuck it, but a dead one? But anyway, so understand, guys, these diseases don't come from you. They're not because you have sex. Because as Africans, you're sexually conservative. You're conservative people. See, and getting to know each other, you should know that. Except for the South Africans, because they got all white people down there. Everybody got that homosexual shit because their minds have been altered by these white people. But every African from Kenya, Ghana, Nigeria, Burkina Faso, no matter what religion you're worshiping, this Christian sanity, this Islam nonsense, has nothing to do with you being conservative people. You're conservative, especially sexually. You're sexually conservative. From Tanzania to Angola, because you're the same people, same culture. So question should be, how's AIDS how's AIDS constantly going up in Africa? So you got to figure that out, Africans, to stop. Your leaders are dangerously stupid. Because this ain't hard to figure out. You should know your people. I'm African, but I wasn't born in Africa. And me being in Africa as an anthropologist, noticing behavior, I'm like, wow, Africa's really sexually conservative. And I knew even my own staff, we never talked to our fathers about sex, and then that's taboo because they're sexually conservative. I ain't need my staff to tell me. I'd already been to Africa and seen it with my own eyes. I said, wow, Africans are conservative like hell. They're conservative. Okay, wow. Because I wouldn't have known that growing up, so I wasn't. Wow. So then I said, oh, no, this age thing don't work. This age thing don't work. This is a lie. Because Africans are conservative. And that's all of Africa. They might have a little bit of variations, but as a whole people, wherever you go, Africans are sexually conservative, baby. So AIDS didn't just pop up in no Africa, nobody having no sex. That's a lie. So that means your enemy has been practicing war against you. And your leaders are dangerously stupid or woefully ignorant, because there's no way you don't know that this ain't from your people. No way you don't know that. There's no way you don't know. Especially when you heard the South Africans, white man tell you, we've injected these Negroes with AIDS. We did that. You think they did it in South Africa? You think they stopped? When they openly, like Joby said, South African white people saying South Africa belongs to them. They're not even saying no more. They're saying now, remember they told you to go back to Africa. They're saying that because they know all their countries are dying. They're openly saying, who said Africa should belong to black people? They said all of Africa. Who said Africa should belong to black people? That should be ours too. Nobody said, who died and left Africa to African people? Who died and left them? If they can't defend it, we should take it all back over again and just take all of it. They're openly saying it again, guys. Openly. They're openly saying Africa should belong to them. So I'm done talking to Joby. Have a show back. I'm gone. It's crazy.
It's crazy. Thank you for your point, but let's
health landscape.
And being a slow learner, those are things as a fast learner, slow learner. You absorb things when you absorb it at your own time. Doesn't have to be fast. Yeah, no fast and slow. That's when you're able to absorb things. Because some things I'm slow in, some things I'm fast in. Some things it takes me to get, oh, now I get it. It just when it clicks for you. Okay. Really like no fast time or slow time. Just when it finally clicks and you understand all the pieces. But some things I'm slow at. I'm like, I didn't get that. Wow, can I get it? Shit.
Okay.
So, all right.
Thank you.
Financing realities require us to rethink how we organize, finance, deliver health services.
Health officials note that treatment interruptions among mothers continue to contribute to new infections among children. According to the National Syndemic Disease...
I do bet you there's actually, of course, an African remedy, natural remedy that can get rid of these viruses. Literally. Number one, of course, I do believe one of it is detoxing. Detoxing from all the bullshit you take, you know, and living organically, literally, and if possible, so close to nature. So close to nature. I mean, nature where there's waterfall, a lot of trees growing. There's just nothing but just nature. Nature. I don't know, but I do believe. I do believe personally. Like that is just. I do believe there is. There is how you can just get rid of these viruses out of your body if you find the right people who have the right information, find the right remedies. Of course, Africans, we've lost our knowledge of even understanding which roots, what leaves to tap into, but it's there. It is there. It is there. These viruses can be gotten rid of. I don't care what you tell it, but it's there. There's something we can mix together, boil it, drink for a whole month or 2 months, 6 months. I don't care. And you're going to be okay. You're going to be okay. Because understand, we're dealing with this is just some chemicals that have been forced into our bodies and damaging our cells. So how can you repair your cells? That's where you go back to. Understand every cell. Which cell are you dealing with? You know, this is how we go back to the real science. Which cell are we dealing with when it comes to HIV and AIDS? How do you cure these cells individually? It's that very simple. I'm not even a doctor, but I think I have so much knowledge. And I don't even know what the F this knowledge comes from. But I do believe it's that way. Which cells are being damaged during HIV? And how can you start curing these cells? Which are the best natural remedies to use, mix up to cure these cells? How long are you supposed to use them? You know, which foods must you avoid? Of course, no eating Popeyes here, no Dr. Pepper here, no pizza here. Sorry, Kate. You know, this is where you go back to your natural, like literally healthy living for real. You're dependent on fruits, dependent on herbs, dependent on the colored greens, whether you like it or not, spinach, all that shit, grown from Mother Nature. And you're gonna be okay. You'll be fine. You'll be super, super fine. I believe it's there. It's crazy because I feel like as humans, we don't put so much effort. So long as you're healthy, you're like, you know, we just talk about it, you know. But until shit is really hitting you, that's when you're like, dang, I need to do this. You know? I feel like especially like Africa, that is just so true. Africans are just so, we're not that proactive. Like, you know, we don't do it until we're really being affected. That's when we're like, God damn, I need to do this. Oh my, I've been just talking about now I need to apply this. So hey, there's natural remedies out there for real, for real, for real, for real. Because this high rise of HIV and AIDS, it's not really making sense. But just to shift quickly from what is happening in South Africa and Kenya, we have the Alliance Health State. At least let's talk about some positive things happening in these countries, you know, how they're trying to make beautiful transitions.
The year is 2026, and the world is starving. Not slowly, not quietly, loudly, violently, and without apology.
Job mosquito, damn you. You said what? Karibu sana, but you said just eat ugali every morning and you'll be just fine. That is me, man. We were having that conversation yesterday, and I was like, for me, I don't know. I think it's something I picked from my mom, being honest. Because my mom loved eating food that was left in the morning. She used to eat like leftover food in the morning. I swear. I think I pick it from her. I so swear. Because even when I have like guests in my house and I have food that cooked like the previous night, I'd rather cook them breakfast and I take the food that I had remaining. I think that is just a genetic thing I've adapted from my mom. So hey, yo, whatever suits you best, You drink some porridge. You know, the British people do drink porridge every morning, you know.
Global grain prices have not simply risen, they have detonated. Wheat futures are at historic highs. Maize reserves across Europe and North America are thinning faster than governments can explain. The supply chains that once fed billions are cracking under the weight of climate shocks, geopolitical wars, and decades of agricultural negligence dressed up as economic policy. From the bread baskets of Ukraine to the silos of the American Midwest, the story is the same. Less grain, higher prices, more hunger, and the poorest regions on earth, the ones that were never truly part of that global food system to begin with, are being told to tighten belts that were already cutting into bone. The Sahel has had this story before. For generations, the people of Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger have watched their food security dangled like a carrot by international markets they never controlled. They have watched their harvests priced by commodity traders in Chicago and Paris. They have watched food aid arrive with conditions, with cameras, with politicians making speeches about generosity.
Which we talked about yesterday, the aid which comes with conditions and where it has kept Africa, and which we're looking majorly at Kenya, how the things we're dealing with because of the loans we've taken.
While quietly securing the next export contract, they have watched and they have suffered and they have been patient. But patience in the Sahel has officially expired because something extraordinary is happening in a valley that most of the world cannot find on a map. A valley that has slept through centuries of colonial extraction, post-independence neglect, and structural adjustment programs that adjusted everything except the hunger. The Suru Valley is waking up, and when it fully opens its eyes, the global food order will never look the same again. To understand what is happening here, you must first understand what the Sahel has been told about itself for decades. It has been told it is too dry, too poor, too conflict-ridden, too dependent.
Exactly. The lies, of course, of the white people. It's always the white people telling you, it's always people. Man, this is something I learned, I think, last week or during the weekend. It's always people who have not done shit, don't got shit, haven't been in shit, haven't tried shit, always telling you how to do shit. And pardon my language. Literally. It's always people who have done nothing close to you, haven't even attempted. They're not even close to even attempting what you've done. Can't even attempt do what you've done. Always telling you how you've done shit wrong. It's always them. Or how you don't know how to do it. Because that has been France and the rest of the Western countries, literally how they predict and tell Africa is too poor to govern itself. Africa is too weak. You don't talk about the major factors of why Africa can't do this. You're the big problem. But also realistically, literally, that's how the humanity that's how humanity has been dealing also with itself. I understood this and it actually hit me in a very wide level of many experiences I've had in my life. I'm like, God damn, I didn't even realize this. It's always people who have not done shit, haven't attempted shit, don't know how to do shit, won't even try to do shit, always telling you how to do shit. Make that make sense. Make that make sense, because it doesn't to me. And get the hell out of my face immediately.
That its people lack the capacity, the technology, and the institutional framework to feed themselves at scale. These were lies dressed as economic analysis. The Suru Valley alone, a fertile floodplain threading through the northwest of Burkina Faso, holds enough agricultural potential. The river that gives it its name flows with quiet, patient power through soil that agronomists have known for decades is among the most productive in the sub-region. It was never the land that failed the people. It was the systems built around the land that failed them. Colonial trade routes designed to extract, not to feed, post-independence governments more focused on urban political survival than rural agricultural investment. International development frameworks that encouraged cash crop dependency and discouraged the kind of sovereign food infrastructure that would have made aid unnecessary. The Sahel was kept hungry, not by geography, by design. And now the military leaders of the Alliance of Sahel States, forged through fire, legitimized through the fury of populations who had simply had enough, are dismantling that design piece by piece, brick by brick, irrigation channel by irrigation channel. They are not asking for permission. They are not waiting for a World Bank feasibility study. They are not holding press conferences to announce intentions. They are building. While global grain markets burn, the Alliance of Sahel States is quietly constructing the most ambitious sovereign agricultural infrastructure project in the history of the West African Sahel. And the Sawar Valley is its beating heart. The shift being engineered here is not a policy tweak. It is not a development program with a 5-year sunset clause. It is a civilizational reset, a fundamental reimagining of how the Sahel relates to its own land, its own water, its own food, and its own future. The model being built has a name. It is called the Sovereign Agricultural Fortress, and it is exactly what it sounds like. A fortress does not beg for grain. A fortress does not check international commodity prices before it decides whether its children will eat. A fortress produces, stores, processes, and distributes, all within its own walls, on its own terms, by its own people. This is what is being built in the Seru Valley, and it starts with breaking the chains that have held Sahelian grain hostage for far too long. The first chain to break is dependency on volatile international markets. For too long, the food security of Sahel nations has been tied to price fluctuations in markets thousands of kilometers away, controlled by players with no stake in Sahelian survival. That dependency ends with the construction of a sovereign food production system capable of supplying the domestic needs of the Alliance of Sahel States without reference to what is happening in Rotterdam or Buenos Aires. The second chain is the subsistence trap. Millions of smallholder farmers across the Sahel have been farming survival for generations, producing just enough to eat, never enough to invest, never enough to scale, never enough to escape the cycle of poverty that keeps them permanently vulnerable to the next drought.
Because that's the trap. That's the trap. And that's the trap most of the African countries, if you look at today, where we're being pushed to actually trap ourselves into with the GMOs, vaccinating our cows. Now, after we vaccinate our cows, now we start importing meat, like what Kenya is trying to do from America. The top jaw and the down jaw. Oh my God, are you kidding me? That's the trap.
The next flood, the next shock, the sovereign agriculture fortress model replaces subsistence plots with integrated large-scale production units that give individual farmers the infrastructure of industrial agriculture while keeping the land in local hands. The third chain, and perhaps the most insidious, is the chain of post-harvest loss. Across sub-Saharan Africa, it is estimated that between 30 and 40% of all food produced never reaches a human mouth. It rots in inadequate storage. It spoils on broken roads. It disappears into the gap between production and distribution that no amount of farming genius can bridge without cold chain logistics, proper silos, and transport, infrastructure worthy of the harvest it is meant to carry. This chain is being broken too, and the tool being used to break it is the most powerful force in human history. Not foreign aid, not international goodwill, not development loans carrying interest rates that ensure permanent indebtedness. Sovereign infrastructure investment, funded by the people, built by the people, operated for the people. The Sauru Valley is no longer sleeping, and the grain chains are already beginning to crack. There is a sound that the Sauru Valley has never heard before. The sound of concrete mixers running before dawn. The sound of steel beams being welded into silos tall enough to hold the ambitions of an entire generation. The sound of solar panels being angled toward a sun that, for the first time in this valley's modern history, is being put to work for the people who live beneath it, rather than the interests of those who live far above them. The infrastructure of sovereignty is not a metaphor. It is physical. It is measurable. It is rising from the earth right now, and it begins with water. The Soru River has always been there, patient, consistent, quietly powerful. But for most of the valley's modern history, the river and the land around it existed in a relationship of missed opportunity. The water flowed, the soil waited, and the people watched, farming where they could, surviving on what little traditional irrigation methods could deliver to fields that should have been among the most productive in the entire sub-region. that relationship is being fundamentally redesigned. Massive automated irrigation networks are being carved into the landscape with a precision and ambition that would have seemed impossible just a decade ago. Channels that follow the natural contours of the floodplain are being engineered to carry Soru River water deep into previously arid plains. Land that has never been farmed at scale. Land that has been waiting for exactly this moment. The scale of what is being built is difficult to comprehend from the ground. From the air, the irrigation grid spreading across the Sauro Valley looks like a new civilization being drawn onto the earth, because that is exactly what it is. But irrigation without reliable power is just an expensive deed. This is where the solar revolution enters the story. Solar-powered pumping stations are being installed at strategic intervals across the irrigation network, drawing water from the Sarau and pushing it through the channels with consistent, reliable force that no diesel engine could sustain economically over the long term. These stations do not depend on fuel imports. They do not depend on international energy prices. They draw their power from the same sun that has beaten down on this land for millennia, and they will continue drawing that power long after the political fashions of the current global moment have changed beyond recognition. The energy sovereignty built into this irrigation system is not an accident. It is a deliberate architectural choice by military leaders who understand that every dependency is a vulnerability, and every vulnerability is a chain. By powering the water infrastructure with solar energy, the sovereign agricultural fortress of the Soru Valley becomes genuinely self-sustaining in a way that no imported fuel-dependent system could ever be. Water moves through solar-powered channels, but
Let me say one more thing else, Joe. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna go crazy. Okay, what you're seeing is why they have to get rid of them. Because Africa should never be starving and hungry. They set Africa after they lost, supposedly came out of colonialism, to make Africa dependent on their produce. Because Africa is the breadbasket of the world. Most African countries can feed the world by themselves. So there should be no, and like I said, before white people showed up in Africa, there was never no starvation in Africa. And so that's why they must get rid of him, because he's destroying white people are parasites. They're like leeches. Every system they built was to parasite out other people, to take their resources to benefit them while you live impoverished and they live wealthy. Everything is parasitical because Europe has no resources. White people have no resources nowhere. So they go back into poverty like they've always been. And so also with the puppets, Ibram has done something no African nation has done. And it's going to shake up. That's why they're going to keep trying to, unalive him, right? Because now Burkina Faso has set up a sovereign wealth fund. And if you guys don't know what a sovereign wealth fund is, let me explain it real quick. I'll leave Joe alone. Sovereign wealth fund means even when this man loses power or they try to overthrow the country, they can't touch the sovereign wealth fund. Sovereign wealth fund will make sure Burkina Faso and its people will be wealthy. It's going to make sure of that. That's why you got Saudi Arabia got one. I think Sweden has one. Or no. Sovereign wealth fund can't be touched by no puppets ever. It's locked in. So he's already insured off the wealth of Burkina Faso that so much money must go into the sovereign wealth fund regardless, and it can't be touched, it can't be destroyed, it can't be looted. So that means that Burkina Faso will be wealthy. Within 5 years, it will go from an impoverished country to a wealthy country. That's why they just now did a new report. Oh, the human rights. Oh, they're not allowing people to talk. They're doing everything they can to stop them. And like the Europeans, why they focusing on Burkina Faso? Never have before, because they know. See, when Burkina Faso gets wealthy, that's happening. It can't be stopped now. All these other African puppets are going to fall. All of them. Because the Africans are going to ask, how the hell is Burkina Faso rich with half the resources we got, and we're still impoverished. That's why the Arabs keep trying to put their fake religion in there, getting rid of that shit. And the white man making these fake reports in the EU just 2-3 days ago, he even said, "We're not your goddamn colleague. What are you writing reports about us for? We don't answer to you. You out of your mind?" That's why they keep trying to come at them with fake reports and assassinations. Because do a favor real quick, Joe. Do a favor real quick. Say, ask Google real quick. Say, when was Bikini Faso's sovereign wealth fund launched? I think it was at the end of last month or early this month. So that means a proportion of its resources go in there regardless. So there ain't no disdain. The country will be wealthy. And no puppet, if they even kill him, will never be a stop it. Burkina Faso will be the richest country in Africa. Period.
Can you repeat that? When was the Burkina Faso
sovereign wealth fund introduced? I think it was out late last month. They might not even mention it. White people might even put it on Google. They don't want you to know. Sovereign wealth fund introduced. I think it was last month or early this month. But it
May 21st, 2026.
So May, this last month. So, you bootlegs, everybody's running. Well, you got ECOWAS just came in a bikini, but please, let's still join. Don't come back on that crate because this is going to destroy the puppets. Because Bikini Faso is now saying they're going to be rich because Africa's not supposed to be poor. So that sovereign wealth fund is going to be worth trillions of dollars because it's going to accumulate the wealth of the country's resources. So gold, we know gold is like $1,000 an ounce. So it's going to be filled with gold, diamonds, all that other shit up in there. So Bikini Faso within 3 to 4 years will be not rich, wealthy. We'll be wealthy. And so this means Africa would be unstable by its wealth because you're going to have coups. You have coups in Nigeria and Ghana and Kenya because no African's going to sit by from a poor member. Burkina Faso is one of the poorest countries in the world because of white people. Now because one of the most wealthiest countries in the world, what do you tell your African youth? Because that means they didn't get rich by using the white man structure. They got off the white man structure. They got rid of the IMF and the World Bank, and they took back their sovereignty and all this stuff that belongs to them. They don't have white people bases in their country like that. So the French, the white people, get the hell out of the country. They took back their power. So you think the youth in Africa are going to allow these puppets to make stupid speeches while they stay in poverty and they can look at Bikini Faso? How did Bikini Faso become wealthy in 7 or 8 years? And they got less than us. See that, eh? So that sovereign wealth fund is the only one in Africa. Why these other Negroes built one? Oh, because the white man said, don't you do it. Your money and resources belong to us. Not you, dirty nigga. It's the only, so Bikini Faso will be wealthy. Not rich, wealthy. Anyway, I'm done, Joe. That's why they're taking back farming. Africa was set up to fail, keep white people rich, and to keep black people poor. That's the dirty scam. Africa's been set up in the last 60 years to keep white people rich off of African resources and to keep African people impoverished. That's the scam. That's why your puppets are there, and that's what's going on. Mm-hmm. These are the only countries right now, these are the only countries, these three that are free of the system. Those three, that's it. There are no free countries except those. But we'll see if they survive. Much love. I'm gone.
All right. So I'm going to share 10 minutes of this. I also have a question for you, Keith. Don't leave. Stay. But after the show. That is after the show. So you can stay.
Okay.
I'll call you after. Okay. But yeah, I'm going to share 10 minutes of this. Then we literally get closer to winding up to set the next show. Today is Kamlesh's birthday as well for you guys. You can wish him happy birthday. Maybe help a boy child get out of the block, help him, send him something if you guys can. I don't know. Like, I'll allow him to speak for himself. You know, me, I speak for myself. I speak for myself. But yeah, today is Kamlesh's birthday, so happy birthday to him. And wishing him more amazing years of health and life.
Water alone does not create food sovereignty. You also need the right seeds. The pivot to high-yield, climate-resilient wheat and maize varieties specifically bred for Sahelian conditions is one of the most consequential agricultural decisions being made in the valley right now. For too long, Sahelian farmers have been encouraged to grow what international markets wanted.
And remember, you also introduced a new punishment for prisoners. You said instead of prisoners going to prison to serve a year, lifetime, or all those years, your punishment is going to be you joining the farming sector of farmers, serve your years while actually participate on the contribution of the economic growth, which was actually by farming. So you're going to be part of the farmers, you're going to be given some chores to do on a daily basis or whatever, but you're not going to go to prison, which I actually feel it's really amazing, because if you also go back to our system of imprisonment or prison.
That's how it was, Joby. We didn't have no prisons in Africa. You worked out that just like you just said, doing stuff for the community. So that's why you get rid of the white people in their psychopathic structures. There wasn't no prisons in Africa. Nobody locked nobody up and all this kind of stuff. Because that's why you didn't have violent crime in Africa, because Africans weren't criminals and Africans weren't impoverished until the white man and his system was implemented in Africa.
Exactly.
Rather than what Sahelian soil and climate could optimally support. The result was crops that performed poorly, required expensive inputs, and left farmers permanently dependent on external suppliers for seeds, fertilizers, and technical knowledge. The new varieties being deployed across the Soru expansion are different. They have been selected and in some cases specifically bred to thrive in the temperature ranges, rainfall patterns, and soil compositions of the West African Sahel. They require fewer external inputs. They are more resistant to the climate shocks that have historically devastated harvests and driven farmers into crisis. And they produce yields that, combined with the new irrigation infrastructure, are transforming the mathematics of food production in this valley completely. Where subsistence plots once produced barely enough to survive, irrigated fields planted with climate-resilient varieties are now producing surpluses, real surpluses, the kind of surpluses that make storage infrastructure not just useful, but urgently necessary. And the storage infrastructure being built here is extraordinary. High-capacity grain silos are rising across the Soru Valley with a speed that reflects the urgency of what is at stake. These are not the rudimentary storage structures that have historically been available to Sahelian farmers. Structures that allowed insects, moisture, and temperature fluctuation to destroy a significant portion of every harvest before it could reach a market. These are industrial-grade facilities designed to preserve grain for extended periods to buffer the alliance of Sahel states against the kind of seasonal price shocks and supply disruptions that have historically made food security so fragile in this region. Alongside the silos, cold chain logistics infrastructure is being established to handle the perishable products, vegetables, dairy, meat that a truly comprehensive food system requires. The cold chain is arguably the most technically demanding piece of the sovereign agricultural infrastructure puzzle, because it requires not just facilities but an entire network of refrigerated transport, reliable power, and trained operators working in coordination across long distances. The Alliance of Sahel States is building all of it, and connecting all of it are the new transport corridors that represent perhaps
can't be having shit go off. Can't be having your power go off every other day. Exactly. They're making it's down to them now, making a real power base. Can't have power going off every other day. Not in 2026. Can't have power going off every other day. And then screaming you're going to be a first world country and you can't keep the goddamn lights on. What are you talking about?
Roads capable of handling heavy agricultural transport are being constructed to link the valley directly to the urban centers of the alliance, Ouagadougou, Bamako, Niamey, with a directness and quality that has never existed before. These roads are not just agricultural infrastructure, they are statements of intent. They are the physical embodiment of a decision made at the highest levels of the Alliance of Sahel states that the people of this region will no longer be geographically isolated from the economic value of their own labor and their own land. When a farmer in the Saru Valley harvests wheat, that wheat will move quickly, efficiently, and profitably to the people who need it without spoiling, without being intercepted by middlemen who extract value while adding nothing, without disappearing into the structural inefficiencies that have historically stolen so much of the wealth generated by Sahelian agricultural labor. But perhaps the most powerful element of the infrastructure being built in the Saru Valley is not the silos or the roads or the irrigation channels. It is what happens inside the processing plants. Localized industrial midpush processing facilities are being established across the valley with a strategic purpose that goes far beyond simple food production. These plants are designed to ensure that raw agricultural products, wheat, maize, groundnuts, sesame, are transformed into value-added goods before they
exactly value added. You never let it leave again, Africa. You got everything. I'm not shipping shit to no fucking Europe or no Asia. It will be processed here. The money will be made here, or you don't ever get it. Exactly. You don't extract your wealth to other people and then ship back poverty. I don't know what moronic, and all African countries did it. You bootlicking niggas from the 60s. You coon-ass niggas destroyed Africa so my family can have a library and all this other goofy shit. Don't even make any sense. Shout out to damn Magafuli. These shit don't even make any sense unless you're retarded or drunk. You should have been built this shit. Why am I shipping all my shit to Europe to make them rich, or Asia to make them rich, then I ship back poverty? It don't even make any sense unless I'm retarded. Go ahead, Joe.
Wheat becomes flour, maize becomes animal feed and industrial starch. Oil seeds become cooking oil and protein meal. What was once exported as a raw commodity, priced by international markets and processed into profitable products by foreign industries, is now being transformed within the Alliance of Sahel states, keeping the value added by processing inside the regional economy where it belongs. This single shift from raw commodity exporter to processed goods.
Your cooking oil goes down from 800 Kenyan shillings to goddamn 3 shillings because it's made in the country that it's produced in. Not shipped back to you in some fancy package and you go to the store and buy it, buying back your own shit at a higher price. Crazy. Go ahead.
Multiply the economic impact of Sahelian agriculture by factors that make
conventional and that's why they need to kill his ass.
Look embarrassingly conservative. The infrastructure of sovereignty is being built, and it is being built to last. Abundance is not a gift, it is an engineering problem, and the Alliance of Sahel states is solving it. The word abundance has never sat comfortably in the same sentence as the Sahel. The global narrative about this region has been constructed around scarcity of water, of food, of stability, of hope. That narrative has been repeated so many times in so many donor conferences and emergency appeals and devastating news reports that it has calcified into something that most people treat as geographical fact rather than what it actually is, a political choice that has been made and can be unmade. The engineering of abundance in the Soru Valley is the unmaking of that choice. It begins with water, because in an arid region, everything begins with water, but it does not end there. The 2026 expansion of the automated irrigation network across the Soru Valley represents the largest single investment in agricultural water infrastructure in the history of the Alliance of Sahel states. And unlike the irrigation schemes of previous development eras, which were often designed with foreign expertise, built with foreign labor, maintained with foreign technical support, and quietly controlled by foreign interests, this expansion is being engineered from within. Sahelian engineers are designing the channels.
Exactly.
Sahelian construction workers are building them. Sahelian agricultural scientists are determining the cropping systems that will use the water most efficiently. And Sahelian farmers, equipped with training, inputs, and institutional support that previous generations could only have dreamed of, are the ones whose hands will ultimately turn the engineered potential of this system into actual food on actual tables. The automated elements of the irrigation network are particularly significant. Traditional irrigation systems in smallholder African agriculture have historically required
how we started. Oh, sorry.
You're breaking. We can't hear that statement correctly, but I'm going to wrap it up right there. I'll share the rest of the remaining.
I said, can you hear me now?
In a bit. Yeah. I can hear but in bits. But yeah, it's 10 minutes remaining of that video, literally showing the amazing transformation that Ibrahim Traore has done for the Burkinabe people. And that is what Africa really genuinely needs, because these have been dreams and promises that have been sold to us without any actions being done. A good example is like what you saw with yesterday in Kenya. You can see how Ruto has been promising people in the next 6 months, and there's nothing ever done in those 6 months, you know. So people are tired.
The next 6 months, in the 6 months, really, because he was doing it when he was vice president. In the next 6 months,
Promises, and sadly, Burkina Faso or the Alliance Sahel state is going to spark a lot of reaction from the rest of the African countries as we wind up literally on our conversation.
That's what I was saying.
Keith is breaking. But yeah, on our last conversation is about Niger, which has officially submitted its request to withdraw from the International Criminal Court. The Hague-based tribunal said on Tuesday, 9 months after announcing the move alongside the Alliance, Mali, and Burkina Faso. The three Alliance countries, Alliance Sahel state countries, are all ruled by military governments, and that came into power, that is between 2020 and 2023. They jointly announced their withdrawal from the ICC in September last year, and calling the court an instrument of neo-colonial repression.
That's what it is.
Imperialism. In a statement sent to the AFP on Tuesday, the ICC said it has received an instrument of withdrawal that was on June 18th from Niger, led by the general, that is Tiani, and of course the president of currently Niger. The request will take effect on June 18th, 2027. The court said that 1 year after notification, Niger must honor its obligation to the court until that date.
They don't have to honor anything. I don't got to honor nothing. I told you I'm out of it. I don't got to honor anything, white people. It's your shit. Your shit you set up. I don't got to follow. See, this is when you talking about being sovereign black people finally taking back power. This your shit. I don't have to honor nothing. I told you I'm out, and I'm out. You don't got to tell me, well, you got to wait till 2027 till we can put some laws against you and try to take you to court for crimes against humanity and some other made-up shit we make up. Nah, I told you, we're out of it.
Period.
With
today's conversation, chat to everyone, chat to Drama for being with me. 12 of you this morning. Asanteni sana, kindly subscribe if you're here for the first time. If you're enjoying the conversation, do like, share, and comment. Tonight,
we're gonna talk about, we're gonna add about that white man fucking that dead on the side of the road. with these people. How you put your dick in it? How does your dick get hard for a dead deer? It is crazy. And I told you, hey, my man, if I find you been with a white person, I'm out the door. Goodbye.
Thank you so much for that. Thank you for joining that. Just going thoroughly on the comments. I see earlier you were saying Africans haven't figured out yet. Crazy because the vaccines you've been given by white people. Shit, I can't. You guys figure it out. It's crazy. And I also see you're saying Africa is conservative by nature. So how could AIDS be all over Africa naturally? It couldn't. It purposely wiping out the morons. And Jaba Jaba also say the same thing, adding that AIDS was originally called greed, related infectious disease.
It was.
Interesting, brother. But I also see you saying that
You didn't know that? That's true.
yeah, I also see you saying I believe the virus is put in foodstuffs and tampons, etc. But it's in many stuff, of
I think
course.
so
Many,
too.
many things. Saying correct, Africans are conservative sexually. And then Jiba Jaba says lace streets and party drugs with it. And then says probably it's in the ugali or other common foods. And not in the ugali, please. Pass with that shit. Hell no. It's probably a smoothened neck bone. Be careful. Maybe that grease that is used to preserve meat. Be careful. Today is Wednesday History Day, so be careful. I'm gonna be bringing some more information. But I see Drama Stress says yes, right? Detoxing the lymphatic system, exactly. And says Jabba says correct, Joby, there are natural cures for it. Yes, because I believe when you look at, if you understand the cells, the body cells very well, and you understand which cells are affected by HIV, and then you do your research correctly. This is not just any Google type shit. You gotta look for herbs seriously, and look for people who also know these herbs and how they actually help cure these cells specifically.
Well,
So I feel like for us,
and it's funny,
HIV,
Dr. Sabi cured HIV 30 years, 40 years ago. HIV, Dr. Sabi cured it 40 years ago.
Same.
So why? Yeah.
It's very simple as that. Like I'm saying, I'm not even a doctor, but I have this information. So please shout out to me. Shit. Don't play with
Neither was Dr. Sabi. He figured out the herbs going back to, he said, we're black, go back to natural remedies. Remember these remedies that we got now came from the Rockefellers. This is new. These new medicines, all fake, made from oil. They're to make money. They're not to cure anything. So your natural remedies were meant to cure you. Go back and start studying African. Also, you guys know, let me explain this. When you're an African, you have a magnetic field around you, and plants respond to you. We communicate with nature because you as an African, you're part of nature naturally. So whenever you're sick, talk to the plants around you. They will start growing what your body needs. This has already been scientific proof as an African. That's if you say, but how do they know about all these herbs over here? Because the plants have a symbiotic relationship with you. So if you're sick, start talking to your plants around, the trees and the plants around you. They'll start growing whatever you need to heal you. See, the white man calls it witchcraft, because they can't do it. They're not connected to nature. You are, because you are the gods.
Yeah, and also to know if you're fucked up so more, try planting maybe plants, and if they don't respond, you're really fucked up. You're really fucked up. If you try planting trees and they don't respond, like they're not growing, it could be tomatoes only, just some simple shit, you're really fucked up. You need to cleanse yourself really, really bad.
Oh, no, about all that junk. I need to get all the plant.
Yeah,
These guys gotta learn how to plant shit.
No. Because the people do that repeatedly and still the plants won't grow. No matter what you plant, it never grows. You're fucked up. You're really fucked up. So work on yourself.
I don't know about that.
if animals are scared of you, like cats and dogs, even you can't touch a donkey, you need to cleanse yourself, because when you touch a donkey, I'm scared touching of a donkey, but because it bites.
I never touched a donkey in my life. I never been around a live donkey ever.
Yeah, but have you tried planting trees? Maybe been around cats, dogs, of course.
Of course, dogs love me. Cats don't like me.
Cats don't like you? That's
Cats
great.
know I don't like. Cats know I don't like cats.
You don't like cats.
I don't trust their ass.
I don't like cats, but they like me. They always just come into my
There you
house,
go.
then I feed them.
There you go. They all like, yeah. I seen your video with the cats. Had a bunch of cats in your house. Yeah, I seen it. I said, I get that. I get that to kick them cats in the head. Get your ass out of here.
This is adorable. I love them, but I also see you are saying as a spiritual person, ask the planet around you to grow what you need. Exactly. And there are people who still do that. The universe will
Of course.
respond to them because they're fucked up. For real. I'm not even joking.
I don't know about all that.
And then John says, Keith, they just opened a new Popeyes around the corner from where I live. I'm gonna go.
Go and check it out. You guys know what is it? It's almost July, so I haven't been. It's been like, remember a couple years ago, I stopped for 2 years. It was like, was that 2023 to 2025? Yeah. No, 2022 to 2024. I started again 2024. I just stopped again. And in November 2025. So it'll be almost a year in a few more months. It's almost July. I ain't ate no Popeyes at all. When Joby did that story, I'm probably like, I can't fuck with this Popeyes. This ain't even real meat.
Yeah, you gotta find a Joe bone meat all there. Bottom in the middle. Be careful, man. But shout out to the records for joining us this morning. I also see Jamus was saying, Joby, you have to give Keith 30 minutes on every show so that he won't keep interacting. Man, I've allowed him for today only. It's not every day.
Yeah, I'm not going. Exactly. She want to tell me something. That's all. I don't be on her show. I only get on that shit.
Yep. And then says, I've touched a lot of donkeys. I don't know about the donkeys though. Yeah. Donks. You've touched a lot of donks? No donkeys? What's donks? The hell are donks? Let me see.
I don't know. Who? Donks. What's that? Oh, donk. You talking about butt cheeks?
That's a car. That's a car called a donk.
DONK?
Yeah, that's a type of a car. John Mosquito, right?
Yeah, I don't think. Who wrote that?
John Mosquito. You see, this type of a donk.
Okay. All right. I didn't know. Shout out to him. I never heard that.
That's a donk over there.
Donk is a slang for booty. Donk-a-donk. Girl, you got a donk in a trunk, girl. You got a donk-a-donk. It's an old slang joke. It's not like late. That's like some shit 30 years ago or some shit.
Hey, that's a slang. You guys with your slang.
Yeah, because it's short. Because it's short. It's also short for donkey. You got a donk. You got a donk-a-donk, or short for donkey booty.
Much love from you. Some beautiful rest of your morning. That has been my time. This.
Don't be too skinny for a donkey booty. Got a donkey booty, girl. Go ahead, Joe.
I'm not too skinny. I'm there. I'm there. I'm just there. I exist, but I'm not skinny.
I think Jamani got a donkey booty.
The one who should call skinny right now is Spikes. I'm not skinny. Skinny is Spikes. Spikes is so skinny.
Spikes is always so skinny. Don't eat, just drinks alcohol. Spikes is always skinny as hell. Man, you eat.
Yeah. Well, see you guys later in the evening, but we're coming back, of course, to the
Mike say nothing but head and feet. That's it.